welcome back to Screen Fiend. It's your boy Carcino here, and let's go into it. Here are the 10 things you never knew about The Lion King. Now everybody's gonna say, I didn't know about it, man. Stop lying. I knew about The Lion King. The Lion King came out in 1994. How many of you guys knew that? Well, during that time in 1994, well, let's just say things were different. And when everybody was, blown away by it, it was a bit of a surprise to a lot of people. And there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes at that time. So, moving right along, we look at what people say is, I already knew. Right? We got the full animated version coming out next week. I don't know if I'm allowed to even speak on it yet, but when I do, you'll know. But let's start. Number 10. The 1997 stage musical is the single highest grossing entertainment property ever created. They've earned $8 billion globally, more than any combined grosses of any 8 main Star Wars movies, all 4 Avengers movies, and all 8 Harry Potter movies. 8 billion off the stage musical, The Lion King. Didn't know that, huh, smart guy? Number 9. Director Jon Favreau's 2019 adaptation is the first feature-length movie to be photographed entirely in virtual production, which is a method of filmmaking in which animation is loaded into a video game-like setting. So when you watch The Lion King, it will be in a video game-like set and virtual reality and film. The entire full-length movie is like this. You didn't know that, did you? Number 8. One guy who was ticked off about their portrayal of the hyenas as villainous scavengers in the movie was a hyena biologist, and he was suing Disney for defamation of the species. You know he was white. All right. Number 7. A course of 9,000 performances, the Pride Rock set play pieces and all that in the Broadway production of The Lion King has rotated 603 miles. Okay. Number 6. Elton John declined twice before accepting the job of writing the film's song, with the lyrics by Tim Rice. This was supposed to be performed originally by Benny Andersson and Born of ABBA, of course, as well as Paul McCartney. And it didn't happen. Number 5. After learning that the ballad Can You Feel the Love Tonight was cut from the original final screening of the movie, John insisted that Disney chairman Jeff Katzenberg put the song back in. They did. It won an Oscar a year later. Number 4. Real life friends Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabella was starring together on Broadway in Guys and Dolls. They auditioned to play the hyenas in the movie The Lion King. Okay? They read together, they did the whole thing, and they were so good, they didn't let them play the hyenas, they played Timon and Pumbaa. Characters they had never ever heard of. So hopefully you guys have never heard of these things about the movie. Okay, that brings us to number 3. Number 3, The Lion King is considered Disney's first animated feature to have an original plot not adapted from an existing storyline or fairy tale. Even though, it has some similarities to Hamlet. Or they might not have seen the Japanese version that came out, Kimba the White Lion, which is almost the exact same story. So that's number 3. Number 2, in early development, Rafiki was a cheetah and Scar was a leader of the baboons, waging a war with the lions. This film at that time was called King of the Beasts. Then they changed it to King of the Jungle. Then it was rewritten and decided the Lion King would be it and have the battle of being all lions, as it sounded kind of ridiculous that the baboons would be challenging lions when they said the lions would rip the baboons to pieces. So this would not happen this way. So naturally, this is what happens in rewrites. And again, these are things you did not know about the movie The Lion King. And number 1, the movie The Lion King was not cared about by Disney. The Lion King, I repeat, was not cared about and not a priority by Disney. It wasn't. And the reason why The Lion King was not a priority by Disney was because they had dumped all of their money, all of everything they had going into Pocahontas. That's right. The Lion King was their throwaway movie. This is the one they were going to do to say, hey, we do parody, like they did with The Princess and the Frog. They put all of their money and everything into Pocahontas. That was going to be their big reveal, everything. You see, The Lion King was something that they were just putting together and was like, okay, go ahead and put that out. We'll use characters of different denomination around the world so no one would look at us as bigots. And that's 10 things you didn't know about the movie The Lion King. Well, they claim they end up moving up in the budget a little bit, but the marketing budget for Pocahontas was their big thing. The extra budget was put in once it became like a hit because it had a very limited release first in the United States. Then it came out to a major release. They did a limited release and realized people loved it. And they were like, what the heck were we thinking about? Roll it all out. So the money differential doesn't match up with what went on with Pocahontas. Pocahontas was a $50 million plus movie, marketed all in the beginning. You know, they prepared for Pocahontas. You know, this was their big thing, you know. So they poured the money in there, almost $60 million in promoting Pocahontas. So that was their main concern. Even when The Lion King was going to be made, they expected not to make a lot of money off The Lion King. But once The Lion King was a hit, that was basically used as the promotion for Pocahontas. So what was weird about it is that when people watched it, the reviews for Pocahontas was something crazy, you know? So that's just another thing altogether. We'll get into that later at a different time. But thank you guys for listening and tell me what you think about Pocahontas, not Pocahontas, The Lion King, the new adaptation when it comes out next week. I have to make sure the embargo's lifted before I can start talking about it. So I'm out. Take care.